Okay, another fun night. That team that played in the first half for us was pretty darn good, and I think could probably beat anybody. The team that played in the second half probably could get beat by anybody. So, there was a lot of really, really good things in the first half. We ran the ball. I thought Cook was outstanding. Our offensive line opened up a lot of holes. Defensively, we were getting after the quarterback and playing good in coverage. And then the second half, we were up by 26 or something, or 29, and we throw an interception on the first play of the drive. And then, we get two. I think we get two turnovers, and the start of this, or we end up kicking two field goals at the start of the second half, which, we got the ball down in there, and we probably could have put them away. But anyway, we fought like crazy, like we always do. The crowd was outstanding tonight. I know Pittsburgh travels really well with their fans. But we kept the TV ratings up too, so that's good. Every week now we do it. All right, questions?
Does it kind of feel like a microcosm of the entire season, encapsulated in two halves?
I don't know so much about the two halves. Last week was kind of like this. We didn't play good in the first half, and we played pretty good in the second half. It came down to last play, and we lost. I don't know. I keep trying to teach these guys how to finish. We talk about it all the time, being detailed about your job, being detailed. And I do think there was some, especially in the first half, guys were detailed about everything. They played with a lot of energy. I guess we haven't really been in a game where we've been up by so much, and I was still trying to be aggressive with everything really that we were doing, and we didn't execute as well.
Mike, it's just hard to find superlatives enough for Dalvin Cook, how tough he is and how he shows up. He's the heartbeat of this team, but just an incredible performance. What were your thoughts when you see him just go off?
Yeah, I think he's a warrior. He comes out and competes. He's a great leader. He's a great competitor. He wants to play. Eric Sugarman, our trainer, texted him today and said, "Hey, are you sure you're okay and good to go?" And he says, "I have no regrets. I'm ready to go. This is why I do this, because I want to play." And that's the kind of guy he is. So there was no doubt in his mind he was playing tonight.
When did you kind of start thinking during the week that you might have a chance of having him?
Well, they told me he was doing really, really well in his rehab, and I guess today's Thursday. I guess Tuesday they said there's a good chance, and then Wednesday they said they think he's good to go. Or Tuesday after practice, I think they said that.
There were some massive holes in the running game, especially in the first half. What did you see just from that part of the game?
I talked to I talked to our whole team last night, but I told them, it's not good enough to stalemate. You get in there and you block a guy and you stalemate him. It's not good enough. We got to drive some guys off the ball. We did a really good job in the first half of getting guys removed off the line of scrimmage. The second half, they started taking an extra guy and putting him over the center and having their big guys in there. They got some stud big defensive linemen that are good players, and that eliminated us to some extent. And we're at the end, we're trying to kind of control the game with the time clock, so we didn't really try to extend some of the outside plays.
In the fourth quarter, when you off the Cousins touchdown to Osborne, you go up 35.
Pardon me?
In the fourth quarter, the Cousins touchdown to Osborne, you go up 35-20. Was there any thought about going for two to make it a three-score game?
Yeah, we talked about it. We went for two last week twice and didn't get them. We haven't been very good this year in two-point plays. I knew that they had to get two touchdowns and two extra points, and typically it's a 50-50 bargain there. So that was the thinking.
Did you enjoy dusting off the old double A gap blitzes, and how do you think that kind of affected Pittsburgh's O-line?
Well, it gave them some problems, especially early in the first half, and then the second half they changed up a couple things. They changed protection a little bit. They blocked one up on a, I can't remember, but they blocked one up. They were changing protection pretty good. First half, they changed the protection from what they did the week before, and once we kind of figured it out, it was pretty good.
Hendricks and Barr were talking about how much pride they take in the defense being able to close out the game. For you, seeing what happened at the end of the first half where the defense doesn't give up a score, and then also that pass breakup by Harrison Smith, how do you feel about the way your defense played in those 2 critical 2 minutes?
Well, I talked to the defense last night too about the 2-minute draw. Disappointed at the end of the game. We let the guy get out of bounds like 2 or 3 times. The game would have been over. The game would have been over if we got when they called pass interference and picked the flag up. If we got the first down there too, the game would have been over. So there's all these kind of things, but it's in the first half, I look out there and we got Pierce and Tomlinson and Barr and Kendricks and Peterson, and that's kind of what I expect it to look like.
Like, there was a point when you still had a shutout going, and I think Chris Boyd had a taunting penalty. Did it feel like that kind of flipped momentum a little bit and kept their drive going?
Well, they're going to have to punt there, and that allowed them to score. So, you get to that point. You get to that point right there, and they're gonna punt the ball, and now and if we go down and score, the game is over probably. Never say over with this team, but things like that. That's what I'm talking about. You have a penalty on defense. You get a holding penalty on offense and make it 2nd and 30 or whatever the heck it was. It's hard to win games when you do stupid things like that.
Mike, at any point during the game,
Excuse me?
at any point during the game, were you thinking, oh, here we go again?
Yeah, the whole time. The whole time in the second half, I'm like, yeah.
Mike, just talking to Kendricks and some of the other guys, how enjoyable it is to sack someone, yes, but when you're sacking Ben Roethlisberger and he said he can barely get his arms around him, as a coach, when you're seeing your guys take this guy down, what does it feel like?
Yeah, when we used to play him when I was in Cincinnati, he was always tough to sack because he's so big and so strong. Harry had a good one on him tonight. Came off the backside, and I think Watts had one, and I don't know who else, but it was nice. And I think Barr early in the game affected him on one of the second play or something maybe. Because I think he beat the back pretty good on that one, if I remember right. But